Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a force field around our planet? Kind of like the ones we see in movies, books, or video games? Well, surprisingly, our planet kind of does. Today we are talking about the atmosphere, more specifically, the greenhouse effect.
We are going to go over 4 different steps. The first step is the sun emits energy as electromagnetic radiation towards our planet. Visible light is one of the 7 types of electromagnetic radiation, and this type, visible light, can easily pass through our atmosphere.
The thing about energy is that there are different forms, and these different forms can change. Depending on the type of energy, it will interact with objects and things differently. Energy can be transmitted, absorbed, or reflected. As for the greenhouse effect, the form of visible light energy transmits very easily through our atmosphere. This is because of the way it specifically interacts with the molecules that make up our atmosphere.
Now we are going to discuss step 2 and 3. As this visible light passes through our atmosphere, only half of this energy is absorbed. The other half is reflected back into space.
Once this energy is absorbed by the Earth's surface, it re-emits this energy as a new form, infrared radiation, otherwise known as heat. A smaller scale example of this would be if you put a rock in front of a heat lamp.
If so, you would notice it was hot to touch, even with your palm slightly above it. This is because heat moves naturally towards cooler objects and environments.
In turn, it heats up its environment while cooling itself in order to establish a thermal equilibrium.
Now for step 4. Remember when we discussed that depending on the type of energy, it interacts with objects differently? Well, the form of infrared radiation interacts with the molecules of our atmosphere much differently than visible light.
Our atmosphere is made up of many molecules. Of these molecules, H2O, CO2, methane, and other greenhouse gases absorb infrared radiation. When they absorb this infrared radiation, they emit it into random directions all over the atmosphere. Because our atmosphere is so dense with molecules, this gives it a greater possibility of getting absorbed by another molecule and re-emitted as heat. Because of this is how heat gets trapped into our atmosphere, warming our planet. Yes, there are many areas of this planet that are frigid cold, but imagine the chilliness of space. Space is 3 degrees Celsius above the coldest temperature, absolute zero. Absolute zero is when atoms cease to move. The greenhouse effect helps contribute to this amazing force field around our planet. With proper care and attention to our environment, it can continue to protect us from the coldness of space and continue to create this perfect home for all to live in. Next time, look up and see for yourself this amazing force field around